Hello, good morning. I hope that you're all well and that you've had a good week. It's a funny thing. Sometimes all I want to do is stitch, and then other times all I want to do is shut my study door, turn on my light and get an old sampler and just sit down and charter. But this week, all I've wanted to do is to write. The last couple of months I've been researching several samplers, and in the last few weeks a lot of my research has sort of all come together, and I've had the stories of 3 different samplers running around in my head. And this week I sat down, and because I was in the mood, everything just came out, and I wrote the stories for 3 booklets. So my proofreader and our printers have been very, very busy. Can't wait to share the samplers with you. This year we have got so many amazing samplers waiting to release. It's going to be a very exciting year, and we're so pleased that you're on this journey with us. You think you've seen it all, and then all of a sudden another sampler pops up and you think, gosh, that's different. I've got to chart that, stitch it and add it to the hats portfolio. In the last week I have had a lot of emails and messages from needleworkers expressing their joy at Fern Ridge, the 2022 Queen of the May. She is a Bobby Dazzler of a sampler, very, very beautiful. And when needleworkers write to us, it really is so heartening. We get so much joy out of your emails, and it's really lovely to know that you love a sampler as much as we do. Sarah was a substantial financial investment for us. You know, Norfolk samplers, they're not cheap. She took a lot of hours charting her. The original Sarah, her stitches were very fine. It took a lot of focus to see those stitches, to record them, to pull the colours. A lot of work went into her. And when I get such lovely emails, it makes all those hours well worth it. So thank you. It was so kind of each and every one of you that wrote to us this week. On Thursday, we will have a release. So keep an eye out on social media and on our YouTube channel for the release of a small sampler, small, colourful and very pretty sampler. It was one that I stitched in lockdown, and I really should have released her a long time ago, but it's one of those samplers that I've had in a very prominent position in my home, and I've had a lot of pleasure out of looking at her, and it was just a question of getting round to releasing her. So this Thursday, watch this space. There is a very sweet little sampler becoming available. This week, because I've been very busy writing, I didn't really have a lot of time for stitching, but I did get the house in a present for a dear friend. I love this house, and I love the little way the girl has sort of drawn it. It's very much what you would expect to see from a child drawing a house. I'm sure that many of us as grandparents have had drawings of houses stuck on our fridge door from children and grandchildren. This is a darling sampler, and I smile a lot when I'm working on this sampler, just at this little girl's quirkiness. Now this week I'm showing the sampler on the smallest or the shortest sidebars for the Millennium frame. Last week I showed it on the largest ones so that you could see the entire sampler, but these are the shortest ones, and they're the ones that I normally work on. When you're stitching a sampler, you don't want to be sort of leaning over a big space. You want to be working comfortably in front of you. When we stitch, we are sat for such a long time. We have to be in a comfortable position, otherwise we're doing damage to our bodies. This size, it's really nice because it's so easily workable without stretching, putting pressure on your back and your shoulders and your neck as well. Yeah, so pretty. There's always something, even though I've charted it and I've stitched it, there's always something that catches my eye when I look at this sampler. Very, very pretty. The colours don't show very well in this room, but they are actually really lovely. You've got, I'm going to have to get another spool of this, a slightly darker grey blue and a lighter one. Then you have this gorgeous mellow sort of salmon pinky red. Very, very pretty. I have been using this little spool and scissor stand whilst I've been stitching a dear friend. I've got quite a collection on here. This beautiful strawberry that was a gift. And this is another little strawberry that was a gift. I love this scissor fob. This is so pretty. Look how pretty that is. Isn't that gorgeous? This little motif comes from Mary Locke, and this is such a pretty little, I suppose really they're floss drop holders, but I like to use them on my scissors. And there will be some information in the next couple of weeks about how you can get one of these. It's so, so pretty. I love pretties when it comes to needlework. The wooden stand itself came from Etsy, and it's an Italian store, and I'll put the name on the video so that you can go and have a look at the store. I've had quite a few things from her over the last year, and I'm really pleased with all of these products. Now, the one I want to talk about is this. Isn't this pretty? And this was a gift, and I was just blown away with it. There's my initial, there's a fish and a star, a shell, really, really pretty. And you've got this little lighthouse. And I've got these on a pair of Monsieur Roulet scissors. Now these aren't the ones that come in the box, but they are just as fabulous, and actually these are more usable, they are more robust. Very, very sharp pair of scissors. But let me tell you more about this. Some of you might recognise it and know where it comes from, but if you don't, this is from Fern Ridge Collections, and I highly recommend you going to their website and looking at their products. Pat and Peggy, they really do have some beautiful products on there. Now, if you would like one of these, you actually have to make it, but they sell kits and they have some really wonderful designs. Well worth looking at their website. This one is called Beach House, and it contains 7 colours of Japanese Delisa seed beads, Swarovski crystals and pearls, as well as natural shells and charms. And these all come in the kit from Fern Ridge Collections. The technique is odd count, flat, I don't know how to pronounce this, P-E-Y-O-T-E-P-O-T, which is off loom in hand beading. It's a 2 needle method, and you use 2 needles and 1 piece of thread. And they added the little charm with my initial N on there. Very, very beautiful. I'm going to now go and order a few of their kits and have a go at doing this myself. Just so pretty. I'm going to show it again. Look, so you've got the little shells, the pearls, the beads, the charms, and all of this comes in their kits, and they're not very expensive at all. In fact, I don't know how they put the kits together for the price that they do with everything that they contain. Very, very pretty. I love things like this. I love pretties. This, as I said, is the one that's by the side of my chair at the moment, and this is on my work table as well, my little collection of scissors. I never have enough pairs of scissors, and I'm always losing the one I'm using because it goes down the side of the chair. But you know, having a fob on them, you know, does help you find them and stops them slipping down. I love these danglies, so pretty, so very, very pretty. Information about these coming soon if you would like some. Is there anything else to talk about this week? Oh, this one. It's a sampler that came a few weeks ago, and I just think it's so pretty, and I've got to get this charted so that we can get this one stitched. I love the shade of pink in this sampler. When we take this out of the frame, this faded colour is going to be the most gorgeous shade of blue. It's going to be a lovely grey blue. I'll put money on it, that's what it's going to be when we open and reveal the back of the sampler. Now, this little girl, her name is Clara Ann Easingwood. I really hope that with that name, we're going to be able to find the little girl. She stitched it in 1875 and she was 12 years old. So we know that she was born in 1863. And her name, Clara Ann Easingwood, is a little unusual, so fingers crossed. I loved the little sentiment on this sampler. It's soft answers turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger. And how true is that? A nice little motto on there. It's all cross stitch over 2, and I'm really looking forward to sitting down with that sampler. I think that you can see the difference between the glass in these two samplers. This one's got if I hold it back up, there is a lot of reflection. Whereas if I hold up this sampler, you do get a little bit of reflection, but nothing like you do on that one. This one has the non-reflective museum glass in there. You know, there is still some reflection, but when that's actually on a wall, oh, well, actually it is catching up the reflection, isn't it? But honestly, trust me, when this is on a wall, you have to actually reach out and touch it because you just don't believe that there is glass in the sampler. I had an email this week about this sampler, and the needleworker was querying about the alphabet. Now, the modern alphabet has 26 letters, but there are only 25 letters on this sampler. And the letter that's missing is the letter J, but that's not a charting error. And it really actually, it probably wasn't even an error of the little girl who stitched this sampler. The letter J was the last letter added to the alphabet, and for many years, although some people started to include the letter J, you will see a lot of samplers without the letter J in because it wasn't in everyday common use. You often see Scottish samplers with the name Janet or John spelt with an I, not a J. And you also see samplers without a U or a V because U and V, the actual letter was interchangeable. And sometimes you see samplers with 2 V's, 2 U's. The history of the alphabet is so interesting, and there's a lot about it on the internet, so just Google the Roman or the English alphabet and you will read about the alphabet. Very, very interesting. So it's not an error. The sampler was stitched by the little girl without the letter J. Isn't this a pretty sampler? Look at all those beautiful purples and lavenders and mauves in this sampler. She used every shade imaginable in that sort of colour range. And I do love the verse on here. When time who steals our years away shall steal our pleasures too, the memory of the past will stay and half our joys renew. Then think no more of future gloom, these joys will always last, for hope will brighten days to come and memories gild the past. Yeah, memories are so important. For some time now, all I've had is the memory of trips to the attic, but it's only a few weeks now before I will be back at the Attic Needleworks attending the Bristol weekend. I can't wait. I know Jean is going to have so many wonderful goodies in the store. I've been saving my pennies for some time and I'm looking forward to well, I'm not going to max out my credit card, but I'm going to give my credit card a very good run for its money when I'm there. Looking forward to seeing my friends and looking forward to seeing Jean. And any event at the attic is always such great fun. Can't wait. Very, very excited. This month, well, in the next month, we've got a trip back to Wales, back home, and Ray's off to Ireland golfing. And whilst he's away, I'm going up to London with a friend, and then I'm going to meet another friend, a needlework friend, and we're going to visit the Royal School of Needleworks exhibition to celebrate its 150th anniversary. Very much looking forward to that. Yeah, can't wait. There's always something special about looking at needlework, but when you actually look at needlework with a needleworking friend, it's sort of like double the joy. When Ray's away, I'm going to get some very, very long walks in. I had actually booked to go and stay in a hotel on Dartmoor and do some very serious hiking. But the hotel contacted me this week, and due to staff shortages, they're not going to be serving dinner in the hotel while I'm there. And that sort of spoilt it for me, because when you've been out walking, you know, all day and say you've done like 20 miles, you don't really feel like getting in the car and driving somewhere else for dinner, and you do need a hearty dinner. So I've cancelled those 2 nights, and Bertie Boo and Hugo will get in some very long walks from home. This last week, we've probably done close on 50 miles of walking. We've done some really serious walking. My feet and my legs are tired, and I think the dogs, although they always seem, you know, full of energy, I think that they are more than satisfied with walking this week. So today, I think we're going to have a stroll. And maybe stroll up to the local hotel and grab some lunch. We shall see. We shall see how the day pans out. I think that is probably about it for this week. I'm sorry I didn't have much to show you, but you know, most of my week was taken up with writing. Okay, so until next Sunday, stay safe. Stay well. Oh, and don't forget to look out for Thursday and our new release. Bye-bye.